Hello everybody, this is Red Pill Phil. I'm a bit perplexed, I must be honest. It's been 9 days since the PAG Open Day event. Sorry to keep going on, but there's something that is very confusing at this moment in time. That there's still, to my knowledge, and people in Survivors Matter and PAG UK, I've still not got any correspondence in any way from ITV in regards to the footage that they come and shot at the PAG Open Day on the 2nd of February. Next thing you know, they ask PAG UK for qualifications, when in reality we all know that they would not have made that journey if it was not a legitimate reason to be there. So to use that, possibly they've recorded over the footage. Maybe when they've put it in the video editing, they've gone, right, let's have a look at this footage. There's an episode of Coronation Street on there. Possibly, I don't know. Or maybe an episode of Mr. Barrymore getting up to all kinds, which results in bodies floating in swimming pools. You know, there could be all types of footage that they've inadvertently kind of recorded over. Who knows? With the amount of scandals that ITV have been involved in over the past few years, the amount of fines that they've had to pay for various things, when it comes to scruples, then we all must admit that ITV are no better than any other media organisation at this point. They portray to be for the people, but they do anything other. They seem to be stacked full of agenda and manipulation and brainwashing. But hey ho, so I just thought I'd remind you of the fact, still no updates from ITV, and also reminding you that this upload is going to be shortly followed by a wonderful interview from a guy called Phillip Lafferty from Voicing CSA. This guy is a survivor, and this guy has been tirelessly trying to promote and give a voice to survivors, trying to highlight it. And along with him and Chris Harper, they're managing to do a really proactive and constructive job. I could never think of going to anyone's event with the foreknowledge that they're expecting me to shoot or film that event, only then to go away and just over an hour later then take the ultimate decision to never ever let any of that footage see the air of day. That seems very strange. When you look at what the actual event was all about, how the event was so positive, how the event could not be misconstrued in any other way than trying to help individuals that have been systematically abused over decades, and also rolling out a plan to keep your eye on the community in general on a wider level. So maybe that was the reason why it can't be shown. Maybe it was too positive. Maybe Billy, PAG, Survivors Matter, maybe they're doing the job too professionally. Maybe that's the issue. Maybe if ITV would have come and seen a lot of anger, a lot of screaming and shouting, maybe then would they have shown the footage. Who knows? We'll never know. Red Pill Phil, like and subscribe. There's more interviews to come, guys. Love you all, even ITV. And with a lovely guest who's managed to come all the way down, or come all the way up, rather, to see us. Would that be fair and accurate to say?
Up or down, I'm not good with
directions. Exactly. Yeah. He's here, that's the main thing. Who we talk about? Phillip Lafferty. How are you doing, my friend?
All right, thank you, Phil. Yes.
Absolutely
good.
Amazing
Yes.
to see you.
Thank
Last
you.
time I seen you was down in London, the
yes,
Voicing CSA.
the meeting at Highgate, wasn't it?
That's the one, yes, indeed. How did that all go for you?
That went really well. We had a lot of support there, and Rosa de Guerrero, who helped us organise a lot of that meeting, she did fantastically. Because we work all over the country, sometimes it's very difficult to get things organised in an area. So when we get the support of somebody in that area, and especially when they turn out to be as fantastic as Rosa, it was a brilliant meeting, and there was a good turnout.
It was very good turnout.
Yes.
You know, one thing I noticed, Philip, that I started my YouTube career going on marches where people are outraged because of what the state of the country, and quite rightly so. Now, the level of discontent, and you could say anger and frustration on a march, is one thing. When I'm in the company of survivors, I suddenly appreciate that there's frustration there, there's even somewhat anger, but it is quelled to what I would call nothing but the ultimate humble human being. So when I'm around survivors, I don't see people agitated. I see people that are so humble that is more resonating to me than someone screaming and shouting on the street. Because once you've heard for 2 minutes what they've gone through, and then you see the effects of it on the face, in the body, whatever, that says more than screaming and shouting around the streets. I just wanted to make that observation, really, because that's the two different worlds that I've been in over this past, possibly best part of 2 years. And that's why I love being in the company of these people and helping these people, because they are what I regard as a silent voice. I don't know whether you've got any words for that. It wasn't a question as such. I was just wanting to make a point.
Well, yeah. I mean, I started campaigning and getting involved in CSA issues as a survivor myself,
Sure.
and I saw things were coming along, like the inquiry. They were talking of an independent inquiry and everything, and I felt so uncomfortable flag waving and shouting down a megaphone, because there's to me there's all sorts of ways of raising your voice, and I feel that, like, the way I do it is right for me. Some people are, that's right for them to run down the street waving banners and being noticed and all that. But for me, I have what's called dissociative identity as well, and in moments of high stress, it does things in my head, and kind of like different kind of personalities take over.
Is that stemming from the abuse, or is that something separate? Right.
It's from abuse.
It's like a byproduct.
It's from childhood trauma.
Right.
And I find that the best way for me to work is through an even-tempered kind of manner, and to talk and engage with people.
Sure.
And as you know, we record the Voice of CSA meetings, and they go out live, and that reaches many thousands of people, and all the flag banner waving and everything, everyone's like, why isn't it on the news, why isn't anyone taking any notice and all that? It's because people don't actually sort of like take a great deal of interest in that from my perspective.
Yes.
And I can only speak for me. I may be wrong in the minds of other people, and that's fine, because we're all different and we all work in different ways. But I've found so much engagement with politicians, professionals, social workers, the police forces, PCCs, and everything. And especially my MP, Nicky Morgan, who sits down and listens to me, and we speak quite regularly and all that. Now, if I was outside their office waving a banner saying, you've got to do something about child sexual abuse and all that, and then she doesn't come out of the office, obviously then that person that's been waving the banner can walk away and say, mate, I was outside there demonstrating and she did nothing. And it's like, well, no, she isn't going to. But if you make an appointment to go and speak to her, I mean, I'm so fortunate that because she knows of the organisation and what we do, I get a meeting with her almost at a drop of a hat. And it's usually right at the very end of her surgery as well. And she'll stay there and she'll listen to me. And so to me, what I'm doing is achieving results, and what other people are doing is achieving results. But you know, like I'm here today with Padge UK because Parents Against Grooming, they've fought tooth and nail to get this place going, and they've had no particular funding, no support. It's been survivors, again, helping survivors and people who understand what being a survivor is all about. And the more that we work together as a group and organisations, that's when we'll really get stuff done, because one voice shouting in the darkness isn't going to go very far, but you know, a huge army of people all speaking from the same song sheet, that works better.
Certainly, mate. Like you say, everyone's got different methods on how they want to get results, but it's appealing to the sensitive side of people. If you can put your argument across in a way that they can't argue. If you're ranting and raving, then maybe they can look at that as if to say, well, although I appreciate and I somewhat sympathise, I can't deal with you when you're handling yourself like that. Now, same as, I'm not saying that everyone at a march handles themselves like that at all. I've been at marches where you've got the most beautiful people and they are frustrated with what's going on. But I was just making the point that I do find that there's a lovely calm nature about survivors that is so attractive that makes me want to listen to them, because they're so humble, because of how quiet they are. Does that make any sense?
I think that from my experience of working with other survivors as well, what's really at the forefront when you're actually doing something to help survivors is the very forefront is your own abuse that you suffered, and you're kind of like, you have to bring that out, and that kind of like, you know, that's what we use. We use our own our own experience of being abused to help others and to do stuff for other people. But that has to be right there. You have to carry that while you're doing what you're doing.
Certainly.
And of course that's going to make you kind of like more quiet and humble, because you're living with your own memories to help other people.
And you're coming out of a big comfort zone in order to do it as well.
Yeah, because like, you know, the majority of the time you kind of like keep it locked in a box. But when you're doing something to help other people, you've got to open that box and you've got to let people look in there.
Yeah.
You know, and so you've got, to me, there's no privacy to your past, no privacy to the childhood where you were abused. That is out there in the open and everyone can see it. And you are trusting people with what happened to you.
Certainly.
To try and help
other people. It's a personal thing, isn't it?
And it's a very deep and meaningful thing. So.
Certainly. So, leading on from that then, what satisfaction do you get when you put yourself on the line, you organise an event, and then not only is it a good turnout, but you then get people coming up to you going, thank you for doing this, you don't know what it means, and, you know, how does that feel?
You can't really, can't find words. I mean, when you get people that come to a meeting and they say, I've never spoke about what happened to me, or I've thought about going to the inquiry for the Truth Project, and being here today has made me want to step forward, and you know, so like just helping. When I first started, it was like helping one person would be thanks enough. But when you get people, so like your inbox is full after a meeting, and you've got people who've added you all over Facebook and Twitter and everything. You know, it's not about popularity. Don't get me wrong.
No.
But it's when suddenly all these people are coming forward and they're saying, "I've told my family, you've changed my life. I went home today and I told my husband what happened to me."
Wow.
And it's like,
and they've kept that to themselves for all them years.
Yeah.
So you've drawn that out of them, essentially.
Yeah, and it's like.
Satisfying, mate. Brilliant.
Yeah, but you know, in the quiet of your own home, you sit there and you just sob your heart out that you helped somebody, you know.
Yeah.
Because that's why you get into this to help somebody else, and it's, you know,
Well,
it's
I mean,
so rewarding.
mate, I can understand. I can see it in your face. You know, you're a very passionate guy. So I'd like to say thank you for everything you're doing. Not only for the people who've no idea of what's going on or who's just finding out what's going on, but the survivors that it's actually happened to as well, that are quiet, that are coming out, that need people like yourself in order to give them the strength as well. So I'd like to say thank you for that. So on the last point then, on particularly voicing CSA, when's your next appointment?
We've arranged another meeting now. That's going to be at it's a church in Newcastle called St Luke's, and that's on March the 9th. And hopefully we might have some news about the Charity Film Awards, because first of all we were nominated, then we were up for the public vote, we got through the public vote, and now The Mouse may well be shortlisted for an award at the Charity Film Awards for 2019.
Oh, absolutely excellent.
But yeah, hopefully at that meeting we'll be able to announce something maybe.
So best of luck. Yeah. I've got it there ready to upload.
Oh, The Mouse?
Yeah, because we did speak about it at a meeting a few months back, and I thought, well, shall I do it? And I thought, right, I'll just hold back a little bit, because I wanted to do a broader picture of that, because I've seen videos of yourself and Chris explaining what all that was about, so I don't just want to throw the upload, I want to do a proper build-up to that. That is something I'd love to follow up on that.
Yes.
Because that is an absolutely brilliant animation. Just for the people who don't know, could you just briefly explain what The Mouse is all about?
Well, The Mouse started off with, it was part of like, I get very vivid dreams and all that, and one of my dreams was about sort of like somebody so scared to speak out, and the hands that are in the film sort of like symbolise somebody being groomed, and the mouse is the child being groomed, but the mouse is being played with, and sort of like, hey, jump, you know, do this, do that, and it's all very nice and jolly and then everything, and then gradually, step by step, it gets a bit darker and darker, and then the mouse, because he's so scared now and being abused, and gets thrown up against some glass, it shatters, and he sees in a reflection in the glass that the mouse reaches out and is reaching to a little child, because that mouse is the child.
Yeah. It's a representation.
It's a representation of the timidness of the child, and the adult, really. But then the adult roars like a lion, and it transposes into a lion, and breaks down, but then goes out and gets help, but walks along with other people. But there's so many different layers and levels to it that, you know, so many people have watched it, and they said I've had to watch it 2 or 3 times to really grasp the full content, because you know, that just came out of my crazy little head.
No, very powerful.
It's what I'm gobsmacked that it's won awards in South America, Australia, Asia, UK, and it's like, what?
Have you got any plans of doing any more like that?
Oh,
going down that route?
Just need funding.
Right.
Because we worked. Chris did the voiceover along with lots of other voiceovers in there, and all the actors and actresses that gave their voices all did it for free. Slurpee Studios did it for free. Everybody worked for free to get this out. There were some costs, obviously, because you can't avoid that. But I mean, Chris is going to kill me. But Chris Harper paid for that.
Really? Out of his own pocket?
Out of his own pocket.
Bless him.
You know.
Yeah.
Because like he could see what we were doing and could see the value of it, and so he coughed up for that, and
that's how committed he is.
Yeah, and I can't thank him enough. And,
so you're certainly a formidable team.
Right around the world. You know, it's seen by hundreds of thousands of people, and it's like, oh my God! But if the people search for The Mouse and put either Voicing CSA or charity film, The Mouse charity film, or the mouse voicing CSA, it brings it up straight away on the internet now. So it's like,
It's there.
Yeah, it's there, forever.
Excellent.
So,
Well,
and it's not copyrighted. Anyone can use it. That's the whole point of it, because we didn't make it to make money. We didn't make it to be anything commercial or anything. We made it for survivors, and it's free for any organisation and any charity, any team of I know it's being used by some police forces. I know it's being used in the NHS. I've had people from colleges and schools contact me saying, "Can we use it to help raise awareness with children?" And it's like,
so it's crossing all boundaries.
Yeah, just use it. It's there. Use it.
Yeah.
The mouse is for
while this
everybody.
interview's going, mate, I will be overlaying it. But at a later date, I will show the full. I'll probably show it now. I've got context.
Okay.
I will show it as an upload all on its own.
Yes.
But I just wanted you to give that little backstory to it. Absolutely fantastic. One last thing, mate. Now we're here at PAG UK. What do you think of what these guys are doing, have done, and what they've achieved so far?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's small. It's on a quiet street, which is usually quite good as well, anyway. But the guys and all the women, the organisations that have all pulled together. I know the hours that people have been over here in the evenings and weekends and all that, pulling it all together from almost a derelict building to turn it into a walk-in community centre for survivors and for other worthy causes within the community, because they've had to expand it because behind every homeless face as well, you don't know that there's a story of abuse there as well.
Oh wow! Yeah, you just don't know. He's had
crosses
homeless
all.
people literally knocking on.
Yeah.
He's been clothing them,
Yeah.
giving them support, maybe a drink, bit of a consultation,
Yes.
and the level of satisfaction that he's getting through that, and he can see the effect that it's having on the local homeless population.
Yeah.
He's actually talking and consultating with housing associations in order to house them or
And
put them on.
that may be a good way to go. And maybe through what he is doing, maybe the council will actually take that cotton wool out of their ears and listen to what's going on, because these grassroots organisations, they are the ones that will breed a sense of survivor and a sense of community, and you can't ignore it. You need to get off your backsides, go and have a look and see what they're doing. They'll be recording their results and all that, and when people see what they're doing, they will realise they are not what the rumours and the slander that has gone around about them are all about. That their hearts are good, their minds are good, and they're trying to do good.
All try to work together, aren't we, mate?
Yes,
Well,
absolutely.
listen, Philip, thank you very much for your time. I hope you have an absolutely brilliant day today.
Oh, thank
Are you
you.
staying overnight, or are you travelling back today?
No, I travelled last night, so I
Right.
stayed last night. I've got to get back later on this afternoon because
Right.
I've got more stuff to do.
Never ending.
So yeah. But,
Well, last
I
thing.
needed to show my support here today.
Oh, mate, it's
No.
brilliant to see your face. I love it. Honestly, you put a smile on my face because I know what you're doing is so positive. How can people get in touch with you if they want to be involved or support you?
Just my website, voicingcsa.uk. There's a contact form on there. Just drop me a line. There's an email address, phil@voicingcsa.uk or contact@voicingcsa.uk. I'll let you into secret. They're both me.
Nobody knows.
I deal with all of that.
I'll bleep that out, don't worry.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, Philip, thank you very much for your time.
All right.
Have an
thank you,
absolutely
Phil.
brilliant day.
All
I can see you shivering there, mate. I know what it's like. This is Red Pill Phil. We're just about to open, I think. Things are starting to look lively. As you can see, the level of support these guys have got is immense. So long may it continue. Love you all, even the pissing haters.